Tidbits with Tara. Today I'm super excited about this video because I'm everything pumpkin. I love recipes that have pumpkin in it. Fall is approaching very quickly and the colors are going to be changing soon and the pumpkins are ready. So today I want to just show you a few things that you can do with pumpkins. Come along with me. This is my kombucha. It's been fermenting for about 10 days. I usually go 7 to 10 days. On top is my SCOBY. It's a live probiotic. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my kombucha and I'm going to transfer it in here so that it's easier for me to put in my bottles. Before I show you how to do a second fermentation, I'm going to show you how you can make your tea if you already have a SCOBY. And SCOBYs are really easy to come by. You can just purchase them right on Amazon. What you're going to want is your SCOBY and 1 gallon of filtered water and 1 cup of organic pure cane sugar. You can boil the full gallon and dissolve your sugar and then put your tea in there. You can use black tea, green tea. I know there's a couple other different teas you can use for kombucha, but I haven't experimented with that yet. What I like to do is boil a half gallon of filtered water, dissolve my 1 cup of sugar, and then add my black and green tea. Once it's slightly cooled, I will take my SCOBY out of the original container with extra liquid and put it aside. I have this old coffee filter. It has a nice screen on it. It's like mesh, and that way that will trap any of my loose leaf tea. And then I'm going to add a half a gallon of filtered water. That way now this tea is not so hot for me to put my SCOBY back into it. And then what I put on top is a towel, a cloth towel, 100% cloth towel with a rubber band. The air can still flow and the fruit flies can't get in there because they love kombucha. Now I'm going to put this in a very dark place in my cabinet for 7 to 10 days and then I'll start the process all over again. And now for the pumpkins. I baked my sugar pumpkins at 400 degrees for 45 minutes and I'm going to use them in my second fermentation. And this recipe calls for 4 cups of unflavored kombucha, 2 tablespoons of the pumpkin puree, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup or organic sugar, a half teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and a 1/4 teaspoon of grated ginger. 2 tablespoons of pumpkin puree, 1 tablespoon of my organic maple syrup, a half teaspoon of the pumpkin spice, the pumpkin pie spice, and for the ginger I'm gonna use a garlic press. Works the same way. this up. Because my kombucha bottles have a skinny neck, it's really hard to get the puree in there. So I went and pulled out my old kombucha bottles. Each bottle holds about 2 cups of kombucha, so I'm going to split this recipe in half. And each bottle will have 1 tablespoon of the puree. I cannot wait to try this. This will go in a dark place in my cabinets here for about 2 to 3 days, and then I will refrigerate them overnight and they'll be ready for us to drink. Here's another pumpkin recipe. I went out in the garden and picked a fresh sugar pumpkin. I cut off the rind and scooped out the guts, the insides, the pulp and the seeds. I cut the pumpkin in cubes and placed it in my mason jar. I took filtered water and took a tablespoon of Himalayan salt, mixed it up, and poured it over my cubed pumpkin. Then I took a cinnamon stick, about 3 inches, and placed it in the middle of each jar. And I added a half a teaspoon of fresh nutmeg. If you have a starter culture, you can place that in here, but I didn't have that, so I just took part of the rind and placed it on top. Now this is my 5th day, so I still have the burpers on. I'm going to take these off and put a regular lid on these and then refrigerate them. And whenever you're fermenting foods, they can last 8 months, 10 months, a year. And don't forget to take the seeds and roast them in the oven. They're a great snack. One more pumpkin recipe for you today, and that is the pumpkin butter. You're going to take 4 to 5 pounds of a sugar pumpkin, cut it in half, scoop out all the pulp and the seeds, and bake it for 400 degrees for 45 minutes. You're going to put it in a blender, and you're going to add 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, a half a teaspoon of ground clove, 1 teaspoon of ginger, a half a cup of unflavored kombucha, and a 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. Here is the final product, pumpkin butter. It smells so good. Thanks for watching Tidbits with Tara. Until next time, blessings and shalom.